So it is very happy to see that there is a huge interest growing over the last 3 years that Turkish entrepreneurs are have an interest in San Francisco, not only as meetings, but we have now lots of successful stories, such as here, Talip is there, and we have a couple of new unicorns coming probably next year, hopefully. And even, this meeting is also making a bridge between Turkey and also San Francisco. We are not going to copy the culture here, but it's very important that the entrepreneurs have to see and feel the main aspects and main variables over here, and we have to create our own ecosystem in Turkey. So that is the reason that why we are holding this meeting. So next year we would like to bring more entrepreneurs to make demo and pitch to the investors, and also it is also affecting the Turkish ecosystem in the long term. Etohum is an accelerator. We are just like other accelerators, but we have culturally modified our process in order to bring lots of successful stories in the Turkish ecosystem. We have been founded in 2008. We are selecting every 40 startups, and we are mentoring and training them for 3 months. And at the end of the period, we have a conference, Startup Turkey, which all the entrepreneurs pitch to investors, angel investors, and venture capitals over there. This is Startup Turkey used to be a demo day of the Etohum, but last year, beginning from last year, there had huge interest from the regional countries, from Pakistan to Egypt, Jordan to Greece. So we opened Startup Turkey event for the other entrepreneurs as well. So this year, lots of 40 plus countries have attended Startup Turkey event, from Japan to Germany to Sweden. So it's good that the Turkey has not geographically been in the middle of the startup community, but also it may be half in the mid-term probably, because Istanbul is not being listed in the top 20 tech hubs of the cities all over the world. But in my point of view, we have some advantages in Istanbul to be for the startups, especially Istanbul has a great, marvelous view and also great vibrancy, 24 hours living, and the costs are very low. If you look to the San Francisco, the real estate prices have been gone up, and so Istanbul may be a chance for the geographically, regional startups as well. So we organize Startup Istanbul in that respect, and gathering lots of startups to Istanbul. This year it will be on 3rd and 5th of October in one of the biggest venues in Turkey. So last year there was 1,200 people attended the conference, and 100 startups has been mentorship and training for the 2-3 days in Istanbul. This year we have began our application process, and then having lots of applications from regional countries. So we are very hopeful about the long-term perspective of Istanbul to be a hub. But San Francisco, in a way, it's very important that the startups has to be here for what reason, to get a connection, networking, find access to finance, and lots of reasons. So that's why we are here, and we want to also increase and grow these conferences next year. So we will be also planning to also open probably a small acceleration process here, which may be also affecting successful rates of startups in our batches. That's briefly why we are here, and I'm very happy that all of you have attended today. So I'd like to pass Talip and Hazelcast story. Is a great, interesting story. I have listened Fuat in our Azerbaijan meetup. It's a great story. Talip, please come on the stage.
Okay, quick facts. Founded in July 2008 in Istanbul. Back then I was in Istanbul. And we raised total like $40 million from Bain and early bird. so far, and we're almost, we're 70 people right now all over the world. We have offices in Istanbul, Palo Alto, London, and customers include Apple, HSBC, eBay, so basically, what we do is all about speed. So memory is thousands of times faster than disk. So instead of storing data on disk, just like a regular database does, we store the data in memory and run and serve the data from memory. That way, it's crazy fast. So that's what we do. So we make applications super fast, basically. So memory is getting cheaper and cheaper every year. So right now you can buy a 1 terabyte machine and you can create a cluster of like 10 terabyte memory cluster and store all the information in memory and process in memory. As I said, memory means speed. So it is open source. What it means is that user will usually find us online, download the software, start using it because it is open source, it's free, there's nothing to block. And then customer will become successful even without touching us or knowing us or talking to us. And then later on, when they need, they can buy professional support from us, or they can buy our enterprise edition, which includes enterprise additional features, basically. So that's what we do. It's an enterprise sales. So that means we have our guys visiting the customer, doing POC, negotiating numbers, and doing all the legal work, and all that stuff. So it's a very long sales cycle compared to like SaaS, right? The beauty here is that because it is open source, so the adoption is much faster. So we have tens of thousands of companies using Hazelcast already. We just have to give them enough reason to buy enterprise edition, right? So so that also means we create a community around the product. There are a lot of developers. They love the product. They evangelize the product. They do talks on Hazelcast at the conferences. So they help us sell Hazelcast, basically. So we have to create a brand that's loved, admired, and then we have to offer something more to sell. So we have to convince them to buy our enterprise version or our other services like annual support subscription. So and also one of the good thing about this one is that it is, so we're talking about bigger numbers, like compared to like $1,000 a month. It's a much higher number per customer, and also it is recurring revenue. So and VCs love that, right? So you say if your churn rate is very low, like 90%, if you can keep the customer. So it is, the only thing that you have to do is just keep adding new customers, and that's how you grow the company. Timeline. Of course, this is the timeline of the company, but everything started actually in 2003 when I fell in love with distributed computing when I was in Boston. I built prototypes and open source projects back then, and started learning how companies make decisions on choosing a distributed framework. So I helped, I was like a sales engineer in New York, and I was able to see how JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley architects react to solutions similar to Hazelcast in the past. So I think I'm a good observer that I was able to say, okay, if I can come up with a product that has these features and this this kind of usability, I win. So, but back then the problem was that the solutions on the market was either good enough or cheap enough. But something changed in 2007. Oracle acquired a company called Tangasol, which we're competing right now crazy with. At that moment I was like, okay, this is super good news because the price is going to go up like 20, 30 times more. And then there will be a big price gap between what Oracle sells or asks for and the rest of the guys. And if I can come up with a product that's as good as Oracle, and I can be somewhere in the middle, then I win. So of course, another challenge would be, who cares what you're doing, right? Like how do you go to the market, even if you have something great, right? It's not that like, okay, so you built the product, and tomorrow everyone will know you, everyone will love you, everyone will use you. No. You have to do other stuff to position your product in the market. So when I started the Hazelcast project in 2008, I quickly started building the community around it. So I kept the blog, updated the users all the time about the new versions and my plans for the future, and I kept the interest always high. And then in 2009, I did a tour in Europe and in US, and go to conferences and user groups to talk about what Hazelcast can do for them. I think that was amazing because first, I was able to create my community early on, and I was able to learn from them very early, get the feedback very fast. And then 2009, Fuad joined the team, and then, but our first customers came in 2010. That means actually late 2010. So it's more than 2 years that we couldn't make money on this. So that means we spent our part. But we were ready for that. So I was saving money for this journey already. So I was ready for that. It was okay. And my wife was working at a bank, and she was my first angel. So in 2011, Mehmet joined the company. He's super smart guy, and he basically cleaned up the mess that I created over the past couple of years. He made the product usable, very usable. So then we got customers and all that, and Gartner thought that we were cool, and as soon as that happened, we started getting a lot more inquiries and also meeting requests from local and international VCs, which was a lot of fun. I think my initial goal or desire was to delay the raising money as much as I can. I wanted to grow organically as much as I can. So all these years, when we had Morgan Stanley, Cisco as a customer, we didn't raise any money. Even when we had HSBC and AT&T, we didn't really raise money. So one other good thing happened that I met Ali Kutai, our angel. He's an amazing guy. I hope you all know the guy. He's the first CEO of WebLogic and Golden Gate Software, both acquired by Oracle. So he knows his stuff very well. So he helped us a lot. And then we moved the company here. So it was, up to that point, it was all Turkey, all in Istanbul. There were like 6 guys, and selling to Morgan Stanley or HSBC from there. I remember my meeting with Morgan Stanley in New York. I can never forget that. The guy said like, hey, we are using your product already, we love your product, but we want to do business with you because we want to continue using it, but you guys are like all the way in Istanbul and a couple of guys, so it doesn't feel safe. And he was right, but eventually, when you deliver value and when you fix a big pain, you get the business eventually. So we got the deal regardless. So we flipped the company in 2012, end of 2012, and I started. And then we moved here. Started looking for money. Bain Capital in 2013 led the round, Series A. At that time, like a month after the raise, Apple became customer. A crazy good amount, which was kind of like, oh man, that should have happened like a couple of months ago. So, but you know, you never know. So it was a good thing. So after that, in 2014, we started growing very well, and one of the usual suspects happened. CEO change. I was no longer CEO. I asked my CTO to become CEO, and I took his role as the CTO. And then we raised this Series B together with Bain and Erdogan. So yeah, now our goal is to get to 10 million this year. So quickly, I think I'm the product guy, and I think we should get the product right first. And also, I love simplicity. I think everything from product to sales to marketing, everything should be simplified as much as it can be. So we keep simplifying all the process and everything about everything related to product. So I think I love the term customer journey because I think this is one of the reasons why you might fail or not. The thing is here that like you have to watch every step or every feeling that the customer goes along the way. So when you first touch the guy, when the guy first downloads your thing and experience the product, and then comes and talks to you or your salesperson, and goes through legal things, legal paperwork and all that, and then eventually closes the deal. So this whole thing has to be really engineered. Like they have to be crazy about the details, and you have to be sometimes religiously fixing all the noise along the way. Like religiously, like, well, if something bothers you, don't say like, okay, it's okay, we'll fix it. No, everything matters during the journey. So make the journey awesome. So yeah. I think this is hard to do. Like attention to higher bid. Everyone knows that, of course. I think this is one of the things that founders should be gifted about. Like what is higher to bid and what is not. Right. So it's not easy to teach. I think founders do have a good feeling about that. And you're going to hear a lot of junk, actually. So from the market, from the customers, from the employees, and everybody. There are so many signals coming to you, and your job is to filter out and say, I don't care all this mess. I know that these two things are super significant, and I think this is kind of hard. Not like I don't even know how to teach that, or you can teach. So this thing, like know all the rules and break some. I think it's my way of doing things. I think the key here is that you have to know the options. You have to know the rules. You have to know all the procedures and all that stuff very well, and then you break as you wish, some of them. You will have to, because you're as a founder, your job is to find the shortcuts. You're not trying to optimize, you're trying to be fast, you're trying to be efficient, you're not trying to be perfectly right. You're trying to be fast and efficient. So, but before you break the rules, you know the rules very well. Yes, that's not that. The other one is more management kind of stuff. As the founders can, we can do all this kind of mistakes because eventually a lot of people will be involved in the company, and our job is not to please people but lead them. If you want to be liked, make sure you're liked for the right reasons, not because you please a guy or guys. And the last one for me, it's a long journey. There was a lot of stupid stuff, a lot of annoyance, a lot of pain. And your job as the founder, you do not give up regardless of the pain. And you're responsible for everyone's benefit because you did something, you created something, and everyone eventually somehow believed in it and participated in your game, and now you're responsible for their eventual good exit, right? So you're responsible for their win. So you have to make them win. Even if you don't like the guy. Even if you hate the guy or guys, you make them win. So that's my job. That's what I do and what I will do. Thank you so much.
If there's some questions, we could a couple of them.
Yes?
What led you to open source your idea? Did you see benefits or disadvantages?
Oh, it's crazy benefit. I would always do open source in softwares like this. First, I said we're competing with Oracle, IBM. So we don't have the same thing. So we have to be crazy different than them, right? So open source made me win their customers. So of course, it's not the only thing. So you cannot say, oh, okay, so if you make things open source, you win. No. It's one of the maybe 20 things that we have to do. And I would if I do any other data enterprise software like this, it will be open source.
And you were also in Istanbul and here.
Yes.
You had the difficulties leave Istanbul in the first days of probably when you launched the Hazelcast. What are the differences?
First, even though I lived in Istanbul, but when I was doing this in Istanbul, my head was here already. So it's just like I wasn't trying to focus on Turkish markets or Turkish customers. I knew that I was going to sell to the world. So I didn't really care about the feedback I got from Turkey much. I think one of the good things is that I already saw the whole thing when I was here in New York and Boston. I already saw companies like mine went through all the journey already. I knew how Tegasol started in Boston in 2000 and then was acquired by Oracle in 2007. I knew Giga Spaces, I knew Jetfire and all that stuff. So I had a good understanding of the market that I'm in, my possible customers, and how I'm going to convince them to buy mine. So that's why, even though I was in Istanbul, I wasn't really. My mind was here. What I can say about this one is that there's a funny story about. I went to Turkcell, you guys all know, and they were using Hazelcast already somewhere, and they were like trying to figure out if they want to stay with Hazelcast or switch to Oracle. And the guy said, like, there's a big meeting, a lot of people, and the guy said, like, hey, you guys are like a couple of guys in Istanbul, and these guys are Oracle, and blah, blah, blah. And physically, we were like 10 minutes walk away from their campus. 10 minutes, like, walk. And eventually, they gave up on this guest, by the way, and they picked Oracle. In the same week, we signed AT&T deal in Atlanta. So that's Turkey versus I think.
That's a great example. So you have also developed an office in Turkey.
Yeah, right now we have like 30-something people in Turkey. Yes, R&D happens in Turkey. There are so many smart people there. They're hungry to do an amazingly good job. If you can create the environment for them, they'll do a really good job. So I think we're going to grow the engineering in Turkey and Europe also, of course. That's one of the advantages too, right? So.
Do you have similar kinds of? Sorry.
Thank you. So at the end, you said that I always try to make my stakeholders win, right? But like when you think about it, you know, at big companies there are always cases when you need to separate the ways. And was there any case?
Separate the what?
You know, there like at big companies there are always sometimes like cases when you leave your role with your stakeholder and you don't have a good ending with them. But you said that like I try to like finish the game always good. Was there a case when like you need to separate a road with a close friend or like?
I think that kind of stuff will happen. I didn't say I will be good friends with them. I said, regardless of the pain, I'll deliver what they've been asking for, which is, money, right? So I'll make them win. It doesn't mean that we're going to be great friends with the investors and or the employees and all that stuff. Sometimes you can get into crazy situations and things can get really nasty, yes, and you may not be really good friends anymore, but still, your job is to make them win.
Thank you.
So in the context of great talent in Turkey, you mentioned create a good environment and they'll deliver. Can you elaborate on that?
So one thing is that I have to say, the stuff that we're doing is not an application, right? It's a more like a platform thing, and that means that requires quite a deep knowledge of technology. So, and unfortunately, we don't have that kind of talent in Turkey right away. Like, you cannot say, oh, I need a guy who knows how to optimize query indexes or things like that. So we don't have that. But we have very passionate people that you create the environment, meaning the engineering team is as smart as the other guys, right? Like super smart people. And then there's no conflicts and politics and all this. I think politics is the super annoying thing for people. People don't really care about where they are exactly or what they eat or if there's an AC or not. These are important, but they're not as important as if there's any annoyance with the people, among the people, right? So in big companies, you see there's so many stupid politics. So you don't. First, you have to eliminate that, right? So communication among the employees should be very clean and clear and very friendly. I think we achieved that. So if you go to the Istanbul office, people are super happy with each other. There's no annoyance. They teach it to each other. There's no competition, but in an annoying way, but in a good way. So I think, and also they know that their peers are super smart too. So it's not like I'm the smartest guy here. No, as you can see, the others are also smart. So we had to get the smart guys and actually teach them and actually because they don't know that stuff, right? So we have to. So it took years sometimes, right? But I think the environment mostly not really like. Yes, we have a really like a startup-like office in Istanbul. If you go, you'll see in Etohum San but it's not the real thing. The real thing, I think, the human interactions. So that has to be fixed. Yes.
Can you?
Can you also talk about the things that didn't work? And secondly, what did you else did in it works later on?
The second one is what again?
Anything that then you try something else that it worked? Is there any
What did you overcome?
any examples that you can give us?
Many, some of them that I cannot even talk about it, right? So many annoying things.
You can talk privately.
Yeah, I'll be happy to, or some. First, I think the founders do have pretty good vision when it comes to product, right? And how to get it started, right? But it doesn't mean that we do know all that stuff, right? We don't know a lot of stuff. We don't know politics first. We really get the thing done kind of guys, right? We don't know politics, so that's one of the things that I failed miserably. And we have to know that stuff. Sometimes, maybe in my case, it could be very special only for me. I thought there's so many. Okay. How do I say it correctly? I know what I'm going to say, but I don't want to. Okay. I thought there are so many amazing people out there who knows my stuff better than I do, and they should. And sometimes I ask for guidance more than I needed, and eventually I realized that all right, all these smart and amazing guys do know their stuff very well. It doesn't mean that they do know your stuff very well, and so I think. Despite my age, my being first-time CEO or founder or whatever, I know my stuff better than everybody in the company or the board or whatever. I can say that at this moment, but I wasn't able to say 2 years ago or a year ago. So you were always like, maybe there's a magical guy out there who tells me the right things, and I'll do that, and I'll be super successful. And I learned that there's no magic.
You are saying you find a space that you can be the best. That's a discovery that these entrepreneurs doing basically.
So first, you have to accept that you don't know a lot of stuff, and you're eager to learn those. And I think I am eager to learn those. And I think founders are generally they're super good at learning. And they're super fast learners. And eventually. And they will make a lot of mistakes, and I did a lot of mistakes, so I accept that, all that. So, but eventually, though, I think we got the right spirit to motivate ourselves correctly or better than others, and take the company to a better place with better or more correct motivations. By the way, everyone in the in this company, or everyone approaches you, will have different motivations. It's like we're not like, oh, okay, we're gonna make Hazelcast crazy successful, and that's the only goal we have. No, that's not the thing. And you have to realize that it's probably you, as the founder, that you think that's the case, because it's all yours. I mean, you did crazy things for that. So, but other guys involved in the company will probably have different motivations. Some of them will have motivation about. So, and that's one of the reasons why I think founders will have the correct motivations to do the correct things. And you have to founders, we have to learn to read the motivations. I think I failed to read motivations terribly too. So around the table, you have to say, I know this guy is actually just like 60% ego, 40% money. That guy is actually 60% or 70% power and 30% money. It's not all, and the good thing, I wish everyone motivated only around money, just the easiest thing. And I wish everyone was like that. But and you'll see as you go, and there are amazingly good guys that you'll appreciate because you realize that, and you'll say, okay. I'm not saying that everybody will be like that. I'm not saying that. And there will be people, and there are my friends. They say like, all right, whatever it takes, I'll do whatever it takes for the success of the company. And if you have more of these and less of the others, your chance to succeed, to be successful will be higher. So try to read the motivations and always work for everybody's win, not only yours. Yes.
Last question.
Yeah, okay.
Before I ask the question, let me quickly confirm. In your previous page, you showed Target as a client, right? Is that the retailer Target?
Yes.
I can ask my question. So in memory computing, processing a lot of information a lot more faster, there are a lot more information out there. With companies like Target being your client, can you share your vision? And this is a very functional question.
Yeah.
Great, you're processing faster data. As a consumer, as a shopper, how do you think that's going to change our lives in the future when we do our grocery shopping? Because we're able to so much faster process it. How is that going to change our experience, you think?
The quick answer, I don't know. So we're enablers. We know that companies want to be fast to respond to their customers. So that's the desire they have. And in order to do that, we say, okay, if we can store all the data in memory and serve from memory, their customers, like you will get a better service out of this. So that's it's very easy motivation for us. So do we know how they're using or how they're going to achieve? We're a platform. We're not the end solution. So e-commerce will use maybe analytics algorithms to suggest you what to buy and when to buy, or how cheap you can buy and all that stuff. But or investment bank, for example, will try to empower their traders to trade super fast, right? Because for them, speed. So it really matters. So we don't dictate how they will use the technology to change end users' life, but we know the pain that they want to make it faster and smoother and easier and all that. So we're just enabling that.
Thank you very much for a great presentation.